Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and today we are going to be talking about influencers that are my worst nightmare. As in influencers that I personally, in my humble opinion, would not want to be. So like, it would be a nightmare for me personally. If you thought that you were gonna click on this video and get some sort of drama or tea where I'm talking about specific influencers that I don't like or something like that, I would be happy to report that that is incorrect. I simply don't care that much about other influencers, and I am also a pacifist. Today it's pretty much gonna be casual vibes, kind of just like a yapping video but with sketches. Okay? The internet is a huge place, right? There's so many different avenues to find success, so many different niches to be in, right? Especially with, I mean, influencing being one of the fastest growing industries of recent times. But every job has its downsides, right? Influencing included. And because there's so many different types of influencers, there's so many different types of downsides. And isn't that a beautiful thing to only focus on the negative? So the types of influencers I'm going to be talking about today: couple channels, high budget Mr. Beastified viral YouTubers, gimmick creators, man on the street interviewers, and last but not least, oh, certainly not least, thirst trappers. Thirst. I was gonna try and make a joke about like being parched or something. Maybe it'll come to me later. Oh, sorry. Do you ever get an itch in the middle of your back and it's kind of like, God damned thee to hell, right? So to start off, I know that I've talked about couple channels before in regards to public breakups and pranks, but I have to circle the block. I do have to run it back. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with making couples content, like, at all, so let me get that out of the way, but I do think that when you are your whole brand is being a couple, right? I think it can be really easy to fall into the lane or avenue of people only liking you guys as a couple and not necessarily as creators, if that makes sense. It's like the only way I think that I could be in a couple channel is if I were to make stuff like my friends Izzy and Emma, right?
You think anyone's gonna listen to us if we're acting like this?
Bro, why are you arching like that? Ow! Where it's like, yes, they are a couple, but at the end of the day, they're funny and they make funny content. And I honestly do think that people would even watch their stuff and think they were funny even if they were just friends, right? And I don't think a lot of couple channels can say that, maybe. When I think about typical couples content, I'm thinking about things that are, it's like Instagram reel coworker humor. Does that make sense? It's like, not to say that it's bad, it's just not my cup of tea, right? Where it's like, sometimes I look at couples channels or couples content and it's like something that would be shared on Facebook. And hey, you can keep churning out that content, right? There's going to be a coworker who loves it. But when I usually think about typical couples content, what comes to my mind is like corny challenges and performative trends and, you know, like scripted reactions and things like that. You know those videos where it's like one partner is pretending to not know that they are being filmed for some sort of like popular prank or trend, and it's like, baby, you're an influencer. I know that you know what this trend is, right? Because it's more popular than Labubu's and only a little less popular than Christianity. Now, I'm sure that statistically, some of these are not scripted, right? But I do think that if I were to make those types of videos, it would be the sort of thing where it has to be so painfully scripted that it just becomes like purposefully cringe or satirical, right? Because I can do that. I can do cringe, right? But what I can't do is try to give an earnest performance that is surely going to be perceived as scripted anyway. Like, having to fake these pranks and be for real about it, I just, you know, Lord, take my hand and guide me through these treacherous waters. And then it's also like, now not only are you my girlfriend, but you're my director of sorts, right? Instead of calling you baby, I gotta start calling you Martin Scorsese. Oh! But yeah, it's like suddenly we're on take 13 of our prank video because someone's reactions aren't Oscar worthy enough. Hey, what's up, you guys? Today we are gonna be pranking my girlfriend who is deathly afraid of cockroaches. I'm gonna put a fake roach in her shoe. This should be good. Let me just set up the hidden camera. I'm gonna put this scarf around the camera to hide it. Okay, perfect. Here's the setup, super discreet. She's literally gonna freak the fuck out. I'm gonna put my shoe on now. I hope that there's nothing in here, or I might have a big reaction. Okay, what is that? What? About to put my shoe on. I hope there's not a cock in here. You forgot about the roach part. What? Cockroach. Roach. Cockroach. Ew, what the freak? Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay, are you serious? You need to give me a little bit more than that. What is that? You f***ing bitch! Jesus, oh my god! Don't get me wrong, I love my partner. I wouldn't mind if she were in some of my videos or if we made videos like for private, right? Not like that. You disgusting, filthy perverts! And sometimes the couple trend videos, even if they're fake, whatever, they can still be cute and funny sometimes, right? But I think for me, as someone who's been a very solitary creator for like 12 years, I mean, the only times that I've really included people in my videos were actually within the past like year and a half, which is very recent considering how long I've been online. The idea of my entire brand and an online image being tied to someone else as well, like as a couple, it's jarring. I'll go ahead and say it's a little bit jarring. Because I suppose it's the idea of kind of like don't fuck where you sleep, or well, actually you should, because that's the bed. It's a pretty traditional spot to engage in coitus. What is the term I'm thinking of? Don't shit where you eat, right? Don't shit where you eat, because you don't eat in the bathroom. You don't eat on the toilet. Cut to me sitting on the toilet with a hot pan of lasagna in my lap. God bless to all of the couple creators out there. I'm wishing you well. Wishing you well. But it is essentially like dating your coworker. And then you're sort of equal parts each other's boss and employee. And then it's like your real life starts to bleed into the content. And it's like, what is, you know, supposed to be us living our lives versus the things that we show to the public. And, you know, you start thinking all of a sudden, oh, how can we make this date night a little bit more algorithm friendly? Right? Maybe instead of going to that steakhouse that we've been wanting to try, we like eat Dubai chocolate. And then, you know, obviously relationships as a baseline, whether there's a camera present or not, takes a lot of, you know, work, and at times might be like stressful or anxiety inducing. I can only imagine layering content on top of that, knowing the control freak that I would be, right? There would be some arguments to be had, I'm sure. And then when you're in an argument with your coworker, who are you gonna reach out to about the hostile work environment? Babe, can we just refilm it? Why? I don't like the way my bulge looks. You can hardly even see it. Yeah, I know! I don't want to have to go all the way back to the spandex store and refilm all of this, okay? Well, we can't post what we filmed, okay? You don't have my consent. I don't have your consent? Nope. Well, I didn't like the way my butt looked in our 24-hour twerkathon challenge. Do you know how many comments I got that said, shake it, skeleton? Okay, people even went out of their way to DM me that privately. But I got over it because that video made us thousands of dollars. Do you like money? Would you like more of it? You're pressuring me! Oh, can't you see that I'm uncomfortable? God, I'm calling HR. Aren't you gonna pick up? Okay, I don't like your tone, so now I'm calling HR. The next type of YouTuber that I could never be are the higher budget virality based YouTubers, where every video has this sort of far-fetched concept that is just like insane. If you aren't familiar with this type of genre, let me just read some titles that I made up that sort of encapsulate, you know, this category of videos, right? Seeing how far I can dig a hole until the authorities say something. Filling a swimming pool with clam chowder and trying to eat it all only using a Q-tip. Gathering all of my exes so they can deliberate on my worst flaw. Building a tree house, but I have to go to every Home Depot in the country because I can only buy 6 supplies from each store for no other reason than that's the rule that I set for myself. Basically, conceptually, these creators have to think to themselves, what is something that maybe no one would ever do and no one asked me to do? and then I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I think that it is a beautiful showcase of free will. And these types of videos take so much labor that, I mean, I can't help but admire them and have, you know, a certain respect for them because, well, at the end of the day, it's hard to even get me out to the club, right? Let alone live in my Tesla for 72 hours straight because, Lord Almighty, I mean, Mary, Joseph, and all the other guys as well, right? Thinking about making that type of content, it's just, even the idea of it is making my back hurt. The vision of that alone, it's making my knees swollen somehow. Also, financially, ugh. The YouTube algorithm would be sucking my wallet dry like a vampire with a blood fetish, right? Meaning that he likes blood even more than what his natural instincts would indicate. Every time I picked up my goddamn camera, my wallet would start crying and writhing on the ground, mourning its loved ones, right? Being my dollars. I mean, I guess you could try and make these videos on a budget, but then it just becomes stuff that's like counting all the strands of hair that I find on the floor of my house, right? It's very giving, you know, I guess these were the cards I was dealt within my own home. So I guess I'm just gonna have to make do and try not to spend money. And that's why I do feel like this type of content is reserved for YouTubers who are more solidified and know that they're going to make the profit back on these videos, because otherwise, like, you'll literally just go into debt. For my next video, I was thinking that I could rent out Buckingham Palace, turn it into a haunted house, and then hire a bunch of actors to play the characters from the royal family. They're not characters, they're real people. Mm-hmm. But I would hire actors to play characters from the royal family, and then we would like chase them around the house, right? And whoever captures the most gets a cash prize of $10,000. Huh? And the actors that we would try and get, obviously they wouldn't be as famous as like Timothée Chalamet or something, but definitely more famous than someone like Robert De Niro. So that's gonna go ahead and be two extremely famous people. Oh, stop calling me. It's pathetic at this point. Who is it? Debt collector. I didn't even know that you had a YouTube channel. How many subscribers did you just hit? 10,000? Who said anything about 1,000? What?
Ma'am, you need to listen to me. At this point, the government has your name on multiple lists.
Now, when I say I've been a solitary creator, I really mean that. Up until very recently, I've never really collabed, I've never had guests, I've never had any writers, or I've never had any editors other than myself, which I'm sure you can tell, especially with my earlier videos, because they are a crock of shit. But specifically thinking about the most extreme people in this genre, really only being Mr. Beast, right? No one's doing it like him. For better or for worse. The video concepts are so insane that it, like, he clearly needs, you know, like a production team behind him. And for me, it's like the second that I have to start incorporating a consistent, you know, crew or you know, production members into my videos every single week, we gotta hang it up. If there's a call sheet weekly for my YouTube videos, oh, I'm feeling faint. And listen to this. According to Wikipedia, as of 2023, Mr. Beast employs over 250 people, from writers to editors to producers. Many employees include people familiar with Donaldson, that's his surname, such as friends and family members. Right. I could never even begin to imagine including that many people in my YouTube channel. Like, can you imagine if I did that with the content that I make? All right, everyone, Roblox horror game, take one. I'm sorry, what exactly are we supposed to be doing? What do you mean? Well, I'm supposed to be the director of photography, but you set up the camera by yourself and framed everything up by yourself. Yeah, and I was hired as lighting, and you already set up the singular ring light that you need, and I can't even fit inside the room. Yeah, and as the sound person, I mean, you already set up the microphone, so... What in the hell? Sorry, I'm probably gonna get jump scared, so I just wanted to scream and kind of check the levels on that. How were they? I don't know. because you're the only one who can see the viewfinder. Right. Right. Okay. Sorry. Let me do it again. I'm sorry. Do we have to be here? Yeah, you said that this was gonna be an independent short film. I'm literally missing my wife's birthday for this. Not that I wanted to go. Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and what is that I hear buzzing outside the door? It's some motherfucking wasps! Huh? What? What did you just call me? Also, with this type of content, there's such a pressure to sort of outdo the thing that you did last, and while Mr. Beast... I am a little scared of you. Maybe something really bad and controversial and utterly horrifying will come out about you. Maybe you're just like a regular nice person as well. I have no idea. But one thing I can say about him objectively, in my eyes, is that that man is stressed. If I were him, I would be stressed out of my balls. Like, let's just take a look at his channel and see his latest titles and videos that he's done. Survive 100 days trapped in a private jet, keep it. I'm all right. World's fastest car versus cheetah. Where the hell are we getting a cheetah? I feel like Mr. Beast is one of the only YouTubers that could get access to a cheetah, right? Lose 100 pounds, win $250,000. Jesus Christ. $1 versus $500,000 date. I spent 100 hours inside the pyramids. 7 days stranded in a cave. Survive 100 days in a nuclear bunker. Win $500,000. 50 YouTubers fight for $1 million. Like, oh my good Lord, Mary, Joseph, and the other guys. Like, obviously he's one of the most subscribed to YouTubers ever, so I don't think he'd be making these videos if he didn't have the resources to be doing stuff like this, but holy hell. I just feel like at the level that he's at right now, how many other possible directions are there to go? Like, at a certain point, I feel like it's like you've done everything, and once you get to a certain level, I just think it becomes a curse. Mr. Beast? Yes? You look I know. Different. I just wanted to say goodbye because I might not be seeing you for a while. Where are you going? The moon. What? Yeah. Ever since Elon Musk opened that intergalactic resort that's sponsored by capitalism. It's sponsored by capitalism? Yeah. I've been dying to make a video there because I honestly feel like I've already done everything there is to do here on Earth. Oh. I'm gonna feed a bunch of breeds of extraterrestrials feastables and see which species can eat the most of them, and whoever wins gets free healthcare for their entire planet. What? Don't worry, the healthcare will be shitty. That's why it's free. That was not my concern. The next influencer I'm going to be talking about are gimmick influencers, right? Where basically this person gets really famous off of doing something specific, whether it's like a phrase or a dance or a costume or character that they do online. And I'm sure some of them don't mind, you know, doing the same thing over and over again. I think for a lot of people, any type of attention is good attention. I mean, people do a lot worse. People commit like domestic terrorism for attention. But for people who actually want to have longevity on the internet, I think you only have a certain amount of time until the thing that you're known for, it starts to get old if you keep repeating it, right? And it's a very hard balance between like keeping, you know, giving the people what they want for now versus trying to introduce new content so that you can sort of branch out of the one thing that you're known for. Sometimes you only get the likes and traction when you're doing the thing. And then because of that, it becomes very easy to dig yourself into a tight little hole of a regular sized hole of people not caring about what you post unless it's the thing that people know you for. For some of these creators, I feel like it must be very frustrating to be caught in this vicious cycle of, you know, do the thing, get the likes, do the thing, get the likes, right? I'm sure a lot of them want to shout out into the ether, right? Hey, you know I'm capable of more than just this, right? Oh shit, does anyone know CPR? I do. No! You're the Nosferatu nipple twister. Yep, that's me. Does this person need help? Yo, this is crazy. Wait, can you do the thing? CPR? No! The Nosferatu nipple twisting. I don't think I should right now. Aw, come on, just do it. It's so interesting. You know what? Fuck you. I have a PhD, you know? Wait, can you just do it though? You know, I want to twist Yor. What in the hell? And I personally feel really grateful and blessed that I'm able to post content that's pretty widespread, I would say. You know, like, sometimes I can, you know, talk about things that's a little bit more insightful and a little bit more informational, and then other times I can almost serve you a plate of pig slop and you guys crunch a bunch on it anyway, because we're family. And when family serves you pig slop, you put the napkin in your shirt, you slam down the fork and knife, and then you don't even use the fork and knife and you just shove your face directly into the slop. But I think every creator has some discomfort posting outside of their niche, right? And for these people, it's even more intense than posting outside of their niche, because it's like a specific action or a specific thing that is like, it's not even like, oh, well, you know, I feel afraid to go outside of comedy. It's like, I feel afraid to not wear this plastic mustache and do an Irish jig, because that's my thing. And there are obviously creators who have been able to break outside of their niche, or, you know, the initial thing that they got blown up for. Sorry, I phrased that wrong, that they blew up for. For example, Brittany Broski, after the kombucha stuff, obviously she's doing a lot of other things now. Jake Shane, after doing his comment-based skits, obviously now he has his podcast and all of this stuff. Vanilla Mace blew up over her blind box reviews, and she's certainly not only known for that now. And Addison Rae doing music and all of that after blowing up for thirst trapping and dancing. These cases are a little few and far between, right? I think for a lot of people who, you know, have this, like, you know, seemingly overnight success online, it's really hard to keep that momentum going. And honestly, that's understandable, because the life cycle of things that remain popular on the internet, it's a very short one. And I think that this industry is notoriously difficult to not only break into, but especially to maintain your spot. You know, also, the industry is pretty saturated with creators, so it's very difficult. Every content creator has the fear of being forgotten, right? But I think that creators who have gotten started in more recent times and maybe got really popular really, really fast, I think that fear is a little bit more intense for them. All right, if there are any spirits present who would like to communicate with us, you can do so with this box. I'm turning it on.
Death is near, mother.
Mother? Ugh, this is like not scary.
I want to kill.
Like, literally what? Okay, this is boring. Like, go girl, give us nothing. I'm gonna start using the Ouija board if you want to try and say something a little more interesting. Oh my god, it's already moving. F L O P. Flop? Flop?
Irrelevant.
Oh my god! The next type of influencer that I could never be, the man on the street TikTok interviewer. Whew. I'm sure you're all familiar with the types of content creators who roam around the streets with a little mini microphone and ask a question that's, you know, very, very profound and would probably even stump the earliest of philosophers, gay son or thought daughter. If you live in any major city, especially New York, right, odds are you've walked past a, you know, TikTok street interviewer person, because they are scattered around the city like hidden Mickeys in Disney World, and, well, they're honestly easier to find. First and foremost for me, right, this is kind of an introvert's worst nightmare. Yeah, for me, having to talk to a bunch of strangers for God knows how long, because I'm sure that they film, you know, a bunch of videos in succession in one day, having to be funny and charming and witty for that long, out in public. Just thinking about that is making me develop a blood clot. I would say that I'm friendly, right? Contrary to popular belief that I am a vile, evil bitch, I would say that I'm pretty friendly, right? And I can be a good conversationalist when I'm up for it. And some people actually get really surprised when I say that I'm an introvert. But the key word here is, or key phrase here is, when I'm up for it. Sometimes when I'm at a party, I hate to say it, but I am the girl in the corner of the club, you know, checking her email or Googling what the incubation period of an ostrich edge. Oh, don't do that to an ostrich. The incubation period of an ostrich egg. That's kind of hard to say. Ostrich egg, ostrich egg, ostrich egg. Actually, okay, I guess it was easy. But yeah, one time I was at the club and I just kind of had to separate myself and I sat in a booth alone and played Mahjong on my phone. And I had a great time. But yeah, I think I'm always a little bit slightly worried that I'm coming off as awkward or something in interpersonal interactions. Odds are, if you've ever met me before, I'm trying really hard to like not be weird or like not be awkward. And a lot of the times if I feel like I was weird or awkward, I do think about it for maybe the next following like 2 or 3 hours, right? Which is better than like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, that's it. Just to look on the bright side, I guess. And then for these social interactions to be on camera and then posted and perceived worldwide, yeah, for introverts, I guess I'm just not so sure how they would fare as a TikTok street interviewer. Well, I am worthy. Rejection is redirection. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Are you good? Yes, I'm well. How are you? Fine. I have a question. Okay. Great. Awesome. How many guys does a girl have to sleep with until she becomes a slut? Do buy chocolate, more like, do he even buy you chocolate in the first place? Are you shaking? And honestly, even if I were extroverted, I just don't have an inclination to bother people. I have to gear myself up to even ask someone for directions, let alone ask an unsuspecting stranger if swiping up on someone's story counts as cheating or what their body count is. Obviously, a lot of these videos are scripted. I don't know how many of these influencers are coincidentally running into musicians on the street who just so happen to be promoting their album at that time. I'm gonna go ahead and say that one was in the Google Calendar. And I'm sure there's lots of people who do want to be approached by these street interviewers. Maybe they're artists who want to promote their music or their dance, whatever it is. And I'm sure there's people loitering around Washington Square Park just hoping and praying that a man with a small microphone is going to walk up to them. But on the other hand, for some, the idea of a man approaching you with a microphone is almost scarier than the Babadook running at you full speed with a bloody machete. And I can't blame them, right? I don't think that I would want to be, randomly approached by someone. I think that the only way I would do those types of interviews is if they were at least a little bit structured or scripted. I actually have done one. Because if you are not prepared to answer a certain question, if you're in a bad mood, or you're simply just not camera ready and then that's blasted on the internet, you don't have any control over how you're perceived, and that's extremely frightening. I've seen street interviews before where the comments are like, wow, she was not friendly, or she was so rude, or she did not pass the vibe check. And it's like, I don't think this woman was being asked to be vibe checked at random. We all have a bad vibe sometimes. It's just not always on camera, right? And sometimes these interviewers, they almost edit or frame the video in a way where it's like, yo, what the hell? Like, I was just trying to, foster communication. Like, this person was such an asshole to me, even though I was kind enough to shove a microphone and camera in their face. So fucking ungrateful. And obviously not every street interviewer is like this. I'm sure there's plenty that are, not scripted and want to be earnest in the things that they talk about and, whatever, and not just, clip farm for viral moments of someone being stupid or offensive or controversial. But because that's how some of the content is, I feel like it creates this kind of negative stigma against the genre as a whole, right? And I think that for some people, they feel like these types of content creators navigate their jobs in a way where they feel entitled towards other people's time. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I were a street interviewer and someone didn't want to be on camera, I would have no choice but to be super accommodating towards that, because that's just what you should do. Quick, what's the song of the summer? Fuck off. Completely valid, thank you. Oh, here's a new one. Gay daughter, thought son. Get that camera out of my face or I'll punch you in the fucking throat. More than understood. Wishing you and your family well, sir. I hope that your day is filled with laughter and joy. Hey girl, quick question. What are your fashion pet peeves? Eat shit and die. And we need more of that. Communication and honesty is super important. I appreciate your candor, and I hope you have a fruitful rest of your week. So just surveying the space here a little bit, is there anyone at all that would like to talk to me?
No, hell no.
Leave us alone. Thank you. It's a beautiful day. And then there's the whole aspect of the evil editing, right? Sometimes these videos are edited so that the person being interviewed appears more ignorant or stupid or controversial or whatever it may be. And sometimes people don't need to be evil edited to be portrayed poorly. I think sometimes people, yeah, they might just be truly unfriendly or rude or a bad person or have bad opinions that majority of people don't agree with, and they do that all by themselves. Self-sufficiency. But there are stories of people having to defend themselves in their own videos, being like, I was evil edited by this, street interviewer, and they made it look like that I said something that I didn't say, or they rephrased the question in a certain way or whatever and changed things in post. Like, the power of an edit. It can truly make all of the difference. Okay, so what is your name? My name is Amanda Wang. And what do you do for a living? Do we love it? Do we hate it? I'm a high school teacher. It's very rewarding, but teens can be tough, but it's totally worth it. Truly doing God's work. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
What?
That TikTok street interview thing I did just came out.
Oh my gosh, wait, screen share it with me.
Dating preferences. What? Teens can be tough, but it's totally worth it.
What?
What is your name? My name is Amanda Wang.
No!
Bitch, what?
Now, the last type of influencer that I'm going to be talking about is, of course, the one and only thirst trapper. Now, I know earlier in the video I was trying to think of a joke about being parched, being famished, things like that. I did not come up with one. But a thirst trap, it sounds like something that would be in like a fantasy novel where it's about like a group of people who are stranded in a desert and they're so thirsty and they're so dehydrated that they start seeing like mirages, right? They start seeing, like a beautiful woman with long hair and the hair extends like into a river and they're like palming the water and drinking it up when in reality they're grabbing fistfuls of sand and shoving it down their gullet. I would call that mirage a thirst trap. So it's not really pertinent to our discussion here, but that is something that I thought of. Anyways, peace, love, and blessings as well to all of my thirst trappers out there. I just personally don't think I could have that be my only platform, right? First of all, I like to talk way too much, right? Sometimes I would even like to think that what I say is valuable. Other times, that is not the case. Other times it is nonsense. But when I turn the camera on, I feel a deep instinct to start talking, right? I think it would be hard for me to just sit in front of the camera and serve, right? I feel like in the midst of my serving, I would have the deepest inclination to just stop and immediately, start, so what's the airplane food? Also, I feel like whenever I do post a thirst trap, because trust me, I've dabbled. But there's a part of me that it feels like a humiliation ritual. Maybe for me, because I mostly stay within the confines of comedy, when I post a thirst trap, it feels a little bit maybe out of left field. And sometimes I almost feel like this is other people's words, not mine. But I also I think I'm attractive. But sometimes when I post a thirst trap, the comments will be like, oh, I forgot that she's pretty. Or like, you're so unserious that sometimes I forget you're like actually a baddie as well. And what can I say? I contain multitudes. One time I got a comment that it was like, Emily, what are you doing? ... And I was like, I guess I just have to put my head in a guillotine now. It's a little bit cringe. Like, I think for a lot of thirst traps, I would feel uncomfortable doing it. Like the lip biting and the different angles and the, squeezing your chest together and things like that. So yeah, a lot of you thirst trappers who post thirst traps in complete earnest, I do have to commend you. You have a certain strength that I could never encompass. You are strong enough to unsheath King Arthur's sword 1,000 times over.
I'm allowed to switch. Turn
Hi, y'all.
It's fine. But what's up with all of that stuff in between? I just wanted to make it a little funny and goofy so it doesn't feel as embarrassing to post. Another reason I couldn't be just a dedicated thirst trapper, only thirst trapper, is because, I mean, if your whole platform is only based off of your looks and not your personality whatsoever, it's like, well, I want people to care about my personality at least a little bit. And I'm sure some people are completely fine only being known for their looks, and some people might even prefer it that way, actually, because you keep your privacy a little bit more and no one like knows your opinions and stuff. So I guess you like can't be canceled in a way, unless I guess you perhaps wear a shirt that's extremely offensive, or you know, write a slur with eyeliner on your face or something. But why would you wouldn't do that? And people always like to be validated that they're attractive, right? But I would say that my state of mind reminds me of the hit song by Jesse McCartney. I don't want to be another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to click. I don't want my words to go to waste. I need you and your listening ears. And listen, you know, sorry, I'm wiping the grease off of my forehead. I recognize that there's people watching who probably feel a little bit more inclined to watch my videos because I'm not, you know, assaulting them visually. They might think that I'm a little or even a lot attractive. And I know that it doesn't hurt my platform, but I would like to think that people watch for my personality for the most part, or even like a 50-50, right? Because it's like, I don't know, if people were watching only for my looks, I think my comment section would look a lot different, and I think that I honestly, I would have a lot more thirst edits on TikTok, and that's not me being bitter, that's me being objective. And you know what's interesting? I had more thirst edits made of me in rapid succession when I was cosplaying as a boy than when I'm a girl. So I don't know what that means. But anyways, I guess this is not to say that thirst trappers' work and profession is completely inconsequential to the rest of the world, but I suppose it just depends on the type of impact you want to make. Because I think it's would be difficult to truly move or inspire or comfort or bring laughter to people when your entire platform is solely just based on your looks. Sorry, are you Betty Bertha? Yes, I am. Oh my fucking god! I'm sorry. I just love your videos. I'm a really big fan. Oh, thank you. Wow, I've never heard your voice before. Yeah. You know, your thirst traps, they really got me through a hard time. I used to be chronically depressed, and sometimes the only thing that would make me feel better would be seeing a conventionally attractive woman on my screen, just being sexy, nothing else, and just not saying anything for once. Thanks. Yeah, your thirst traps help me not kill myself. Really? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you had fun. Did you guys have fun? Comment down below. I had fun. And I would like to shout out, there's a TikTok account called Not Even Sane, and they post like clips of my videos and stuff like that, and you know, they're the first dedicated account I believe that I've ever had that posts my clips and stuff. Thank you for doing that, Not Even Sane. Yeah, I guess that's it. I just wanted to say thank you for that. Thank you for watching my videos, and yeah, that's all. Okay, until next time.